What's crack-a-lackin' YouTube? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you didn't know. So, and I'm cracking out these draft grades for your teams, and today I do the AFC West. And I'm starting with the team I graded the highest in this division. I gave them an A minus. The Denver Broncos, I think they did a phenomenal job in the draft. Getting Noah Fant, I think taking him a little earlier than I would want to take him, but getting a weapon for Flacco, so I kind of figured, okay, so they're going to try to give Flacco a good run. Picking up Dalton Reisner wasn't surprising. Getting some help on the offensive line. He could play guard, he could play tackle, he could play center. He played everywhere in Kansas State. But then trading up, I immediately knew this pick was Drew Lock. I've been one to mock Drew Lock to them for ever, and in my final draft decided not to, and he fell right into the laps of the Broncos. I think that's great. He could sit behind Flacco for a year or two, and they addressed offense with the first two picks to give just to give him a weapon and give him some help, some protection on that line for when he does come and start. Draymond Jones, great pick in the third round. He's gonna add something to that defensive line that's kind of not been explosive the last few years, so that's nice. I like Justin Hollins. It's a solid pick, and then they just filled it out with Winfrey, a receiver. Overall, like I said, I gave him an A minus. Great draft for the Broncos. Then we got the Los Angeles Chargers, and I gave them a B minus. I love what they did with their first two picks, getting Nazir Adderley, who's a playmaker, a ball hawk, to pair him up with Derwin James. Early in my first mock draft, I had them taking Adderley in the first round. I love the pick of Jerry Tillery. He's gonna be, I think he could have been a top 10 pick, but for him to get snagged at 28, that's a great pick by the Chargers. They got two instant starters there. Trey Pipkins is a project, as a developmental tackle. That late in the third, I don't know. I was kind of iffy on that. I thought there were better prospects on the board. Then they got Tranquil, linebacker at Notre Dame. Solid pick there. They picked up Easton Stick out of North Dakota State as a backup quarterback, as their developmental quarterback to the future, because they got Tyrod on the roster too. So I didn't hate that pick, and they just kind of filled out with a linebacker and defensive tackle, just kind of filling their needs. They're filling their roster. Like I said, overall, I gave them a B minus. I like what they did with their first two picks, and the rest of their draft was all right. Next, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. Gave them a B minus. They did some things I liked, and then they did some things. I wasn't too sure about their. I love the trade for getting Frank Clark. I don't know about the contract. Contract seems like a bit much to me. That's a lot of money to give Frank Clark, who's been solid for 2 years, but I don't think he's in that top tier with what they paid him. But getting Mecole Hardman, I thought it was vital for them to get a receiver with everything going with Tyreek Hill right now. So, I mean, Hardman could play on special teams. I don't know if he has number one potential as a receiver, but they address a potential need. Juan Thornhill at safety. What a pick. I love that. Pairing him up with Tyree, I think you got some fast, physical safeties there in Kansas City. Now, Colin Saunders, I loved him. I had him as a second-round prospect. Dropped. They picked him up. They're going to pair him next to Chris Jones. That's a terrifying defensive line all of a sudden. And then they just kind of filled out with their last three picks. Overall, like I said, B minus. I like what they did with Thornhill and Saunders. I think they got tremendous value for where they picked him, and we'll see. The jury will be out on Hardman. We'll see what becomes. Next, we got the Oakland Raiders. I gave them a C. And it's not because I don't like their draft. I do. I like Cleveland Farrell. I like Josh Jacobs. I like Jonathan Abram. I thought those were solid picks in the first round. Just, I don't get, why not trade down from the fourth pick? You know that pick's Cleveland Farrell. Honestly, you could drop to maybe that 12 to 17 range where he'll probably be taken. I don't know. I don't get it. I think they could have traded out of that, but I mean they got the guy they wanted. Josh Jacobs, I thought they probably could have got in the second round, if we're being honest. But you know what? He's gonna be a starter there from day one. Josh Abrams a good pick, questionable pick though, because what happens to Carl Joseph now? Like, because they both kind of serve the same function. I imagine they'll be trading or releasing Carl Joseph here before the season starts. So we'll see about that. So that was a bit of a questionable pick. Trayvon Mullen, the Clemson corner. I thought there were better corners on the board. Just that simple. I like in the 4th round Max Crosby. I think that's a good pick on the edge. I love Isaiah Johnson. I think honestly I had him as a I had him ranked higher than Mullen. So that's good. Then they got Foster Moreau, which I thought they would address tight end maybe a little sooner and got someone more dynamic. Because the man's got some receiving skills. Like, he's athletic. I shouldn't say he has some receiving skills. We never saw that. He's a blocking tight end there at LSU. But he's athletic enough that they could work him into the offense that way if they wanted to. I love the Hunter Renfrow pick. I think he'll come in and can instantly play in the slot. But overall, it's just, I don't know what they were trying to do. I thought, I don't know, I feel like they could have gotten more value with some of these picks. Like I said, the Cleveland Farrell could have traded down. So yeah, I just gave it a C. But Mike Mayock, we'll see what happens this year with these guys. Real quick before we continue with the video, I just want to say thank you to everyone for all the support this channel has gotten over the last few months. It really does mean a whole lot to me. But with that being said, I want to propose a challenge, a bro to greatness. I'm trying to get to 100 subs on YouTube and 50 followers on Twitch. And I don't want you to just do it willy-nilly. If you really enjoy the content and you want me to continue to bring more quality content, then go ahead, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Again, it's all appreciated. So back to the video. Enjoy. Next, we got the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know how to feel about how they drafted. They accumulated a ton of picks, which instantly I like. But their first 2 picks, getting LJ Collier, who I didn't even have in my 3-round mock, just because I didn't know where to put him, because he doesn't have natural pass rushing skills. I get he's kind of like Frank Clark, who they just traded away, but I mean, I think they could have traded down, maybe got some more picks, and then got him later in the second. Probably could have got him in that 15th pick. Then they got Marquise Blair to help the secondary. Not a bad pick. Getting DK Metcalf at the end of the second. Ooh, what a pick, man. That's solid. That's good value there. And they just started addressing needs and filling just filling out their roster, really. They got a couple of linebackers I like, especially their 5th rounder, Ben Curvin out of Washington. He's rangy. You'll see him probably on he'll be a pass specialist. He's really good in coverage. Marcus Christmas, low-key developmental tackle. I think he'll see some important reps this season, as well as I like Ogo Amadi out of Oregon. He can play nickel, he can play safety. So they kind of filled out their roster. I give him a B- just because I don't know I think they reached with some of the picks, but Pete Carroll's good for turn these guys into gold. We thought Bruce Irvin way back was a huge reach in the 1st round, and he ended up having a stellar career. So we'll see. Arizona Cardinals, they had the #1 pick. What did they do with it? Kyler Murray. I honestly thought they had a great draft. They took their quarterback, Kyler Murray. They managed to trade away Rosen. I don't think they exactly got the value that they wanted, but nonetheless, they got a 2nd round pick, and they got Andy Isabella, which is going to be a great target for Kyler Murray. I think they had a great draft. Getting Byron Murphy at the top of the 2nd round, I thought that was great value. Getting Zach Allen in the 3rd, great value. Hakeem Butler at the beginning of the 4th, who could have gone in late 1st or even early 2nd, great value. And then Deontay Thompson, who just fell. Man, he could have been 2nd, 3rd round pick. Got him in the 5th. Great value. That was the theme for these picks for the Cardinals. They just got great value. They added a lot of receivers, a lot of weapons for Kyler Murray. I wish they maybe got a more top tier offensive line prospect here, but I mean they filled some needs here. I like Michael Dogby out of Temple as a developmental or situational pass rusher, and then Caleb Wilson, right, Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah, there we go, Mr. Irrelevant, right there at the bottom of the 7th. What a pick! I mean, go in there, could instantly be their starter. They're probably going to also use them in the slot. So overall, I gave them a grade of a solid A. Next, we got the San Francisco 49ers, of course, taking Nick Bosa. One of the safest players to take in the draft. He's going to be huge for that 49er defense. They got Deebo Samuel, which great pick in the second round. They need receiver help. They double dipped, got Jalen Hurd. He went a lot higher than I thought he would. He's got excellent size and speed. So not a terrible pick. I'm just surprised that they snagged him in the 3rd round. I thought he would have fell a little bit more. Then they got a punter in the 4th. I don't like that. I'm not fans of drafting punters or kickers relatively early. Typically, you can find late round or even undrafted free agents that are serviceable starters there. They went ahead, they upgraded linebacker. They just basically filled some needs they needed. Getting Caden Smith in the 6th, that was great. I love the pick of Tim Harris in the 6th as well. I think he could go in and instantly compete for the the corner spot across from oh my gosh, what's it? Richard Sherman. Wow. Oh, I blanked. Or he could go in the slot. Overall, I gave them just a solid B. And we got the Los Angeles Rams, and I love what they did with their draft. They addressed positions of need with value. Getting David Long in the 3rd round might be my favorite pick. I thought he could have gone late 1st, even somewhere in the 2nd. He's the second best press corner in the draft, right behind Greedy Williams. So I think that's a stellar pick. He's going to be great for their cover 3. They got Darrell Henderson. I love Darrell. Darrell is he is a home run threat. He's very explosive, and with Todd Gurley being hurt much of late last year, he gives them a little bit. He gives them a sure backup that they now are going to be missing a C.J. Anderson. Taylor Rapp was a great pick at secondary, or in the 2nd, I should say. Just being able, I think they're going to use him in a lot of cool ways. He could be their dime linebacker. He can, learn it from Eric Weddle. I mean, that's just phenomenal. Bobby Evans was great value on the offensive line, as well as David Edwards in the 5th round. So addressing that offensive line, I thought was very huge. That was very important. And getting Gray Gaines, ooh, what a steal! What a steal! I think honestly he could have. I didn't have him in my 3-round mock just because I didn't think teams were high on him like I was high on him. Honestly, he had a late 2nd, early 3rd grade to me. Getting him in late in the 4th, just huge. He'll instantly come in there and he'll be a starter from day 1 on that line. I gave them a B+. On to the next. On to the next. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.